Hi, this is my Aura Magic Alpha 7 release. In my previous release I said I was going to fix up some of the issues with the sprites and update like how the playability and the magic spells and just do some general updates. But then I decided what I'm going to do instead is make dragons. Now this is one of the Hytale dragons, and the way they make all the NPCs is you make a model, you paint the model, then you animate the model, then you bring it into Hytale and create an NPC, attach it to that model, and then tell it to play different animations when it's doing different things. So for example, that's an idle animation. Now these are all static animations. I wanted to use dynamic animations instead. What I've been doing for the last few weeks is working on my own dragon, and I'll show that now. So this is the dragon that I created. It's made out of many segments. Now each segment has a model attached, and it's not using the NPC framework. I had to make my own sort of like little framework behind it. This model in the front is a standard 64 pixel model, so as you can see that's the dragon head, and then everything behind it is the same as your standard block, which is 32 pixels per block, and I'm hoping that increases the performance a bit. I had to individually create all these little segments all the way up to the tail, and when I was painting it, I had quite a lot of problems trying to get the scales to fit together like they do here. And then also I added these little flaps, which you can't see, which hide all the connection. I spent about half the time painting and modeling, and then the other half doing the actual flying and stuff like that, and that's what I'm going to be showing you now. This is a standard adventure map that I was testing in, and as you can see it's got my temples in it, and it's got standard NPCs like the bird and my sprites running around here. What I've done is I'm using this area just to test the dragons flying. I will now spawn in a dragon. So this is your standard dragon. So I've made it fly randomly from point to point. So it flies to the point, then goes to the next point. When it's flying down, it will speed up and then put its wings in. When it flies up, it will slow down and then will start flapping when it gets slow enough. And like there you see it coming, putting its arms in, and it makes noises every now and again. It's got a few random noises. And then next, so there you hear one of the noises. So this is now a larger version of the dragon. All I've done is I've scaled it up. Now I'm not going to be doing this in the real game, but I'm just showing you that my engine allows you to make large dragons. And if I do it again, then you have a small dragon, which is just a scaled down version of that. And as you can see, it's very small. And then you can have long dragons. Let me just move over here so the rest of the tail comes in. Then the other thing I've done is I've made dragons be able to look at other targets. So this dragon will always look at that dragon. And that's the most it can move its head back. So what it will do is it will, if it turns too much, it will start looking from the other direction. And then here I've got a baby dragon. And let me just spawn all of them. So there's 4 baby dragons. It's following the first dragon I spawned. And they've got different heads and they sound different. The sound effect I got from one of the seals in baby seals, and they're following different points around the dragon. I'll just follow it a bit. In this release, you will have dragons flying around randomly, and they might go up to a player and then fly away, and that's about it. I've spent most of my time just designing these dragons. So I haven't spent a lot of the time on on the way they're going to work in the game. In the next release, I'm going to be adding a quest, and I'm going to make the dragons be able to directly interact with the players, and you can interact with them. And they will be guarding some sort of tower, wind tower, and you'll have to go fetch an item. I'm thinking of making it like a huge tower with 3 dragons protecting it, but I'll get to that later once I've made it. And so what I'll do now is I'll start up a normal game and then show you sort of what the dragons do. This is a new adventure world with my mod on. Nothing's changed here. I've made the dragon go around in a large square. They basically go around on a patrol. When they see a human on the inside of that square, then they'll start taking like a shortcut, and then they should fly over you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to climb up here. And then wait for the dragons. Well, there's 2 of them already. There's 2 dragons. There's one with 2 babies that flies over you, and you can follow it, and then there's a second one which takes a little bit longer to get to you, which then will fly from a different direction. Now they will usually take quite a lot longer than this, since I've just got the range of them set a lot lower. There is an issue with Hytale where stuff disappears at different rates, so if you look, you'll see their heads disappearing, yeah, before their bodies. Now that's a Hytale issue that I haven't got around. But what I'm also doing is I'm removing the dragons and reappearing them as well as soon as they get far enough away. I've still got logic to keep them moving all the way around. Okay, so there's the next one coming. I've got logic where they fly above the ground, so they shouldn't fly into mountains and stuff like that. They might still if there's a large hole, I don't know, and there's a few other things that I've got to test. This version is just meant as a show off of the dragon and its flying. The next one will be way better, where you can interact with it and stuff like that. And then I'm going to work on probably a 3rd, a 4th, a 5th one to try get these dragons right. There's probably still quite a lot of work on them, but for now I'm happy with their movement. So I'm just going to follow them for a while. I also want to test how they fly over larger structures and see if they fly into... Okay, that's really a hole. Yeah, so that's working. Be nice if they flew into a mountain. That's sort of a problem, but not too bad.
Mm,
Yeah, so they're offline above the mountain. So came a bit close there, but nothing too serious. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching and goodbye.